Welcome. In this video, part 1, design and prepress, I'll show you how to create Braille signs and icons for texture printing. Stick around until the end and I'll reveal a little known trick for batch printing multiple signs with variable data. Before you get started here, please watch Special Inks and Layers for Mimaki Flatbed printers. Here's a quick disclaimer. It's up to you to design your signs to meet your customers' expectations. I'm just here to show you how to make all that happen. This workflow is basic by design. Think of it like learning how to spell. You can't make words without first knowing the alphabet. This video is your alphabet. This is part 1, design and prepress. Part 2 will cover production and the press workflow. All the texture videos are in a playlist. Yep, it's all about playlists. You can find them on YouTube at PG Sign Video. To get going, here's my theory. A design software package is just a tool. Illustrator, CorelDRAW, Flexi, SignLab, or even Word. They're all just tools to help you create the image you want to print. It doesn't matter which one you use. You can use these blocks, these starter building blocks, to design in any software package. Let's jump right in, and we're going to design this sign. We're going to design this sign. It's 8 inches by 7 inches, and I have texture on my Braille dots, and I have texture on my icons and my words. We're going to do this one in Illustrator. Here we are in Illustrator, so I'm going to select New File. And our sign was printed on clear acrylic, so the way we're going to have to do it is we're going to have to print black on the back and then flip it over and print our texture Braille dots on top. So we're going to make our artboard the same size as our sign. But in this case, I'm going to go 8.1 inches by 7.1 inches to give us just a little bit of bleed to ensure that we're going so we can have a full bleed on our output. So we set our artboard and we're going to select Create. There we go. Now we're going to save this file. So I'm going to select File, Save As, and let's call it Restroom. The first thing that we want to do for our production guy, our press guy, is we're going to create a box or a frame the same size as our artboard. So we're going to say 8.1 by 7.1 and select OK. And then we're just going to move it to the middle and give it a little bit wider stroke for him. So we're just going to create like a 2-point stroke. And then I'm going to save that out because what he's going to do is he's going to print that on the bed of the printer and then he's going to place the individual signs on it for however many he needs. So we're going to select File, Export, Export As, and we're going to save this as frame because that's what he's going to use it as. That's you guys working together. So we're going to save that as frame. And the next thing that we have to do is we need that black background. So I'm just going to change this to black. No big deal, right? Okay, right on. So we're going to save this out. File, Export, Export As, Restroom, Back, Black. So he knows how to print it. Let's get to it and create our sign. Now I have a boatload of elements, if you will. So I'm going to place the man and woman icon from my elements. Simple icons I call them, but there's a boatload of elements here. So I'm going to select that and select place. So I'm going to place that image on my graphic and I'm going to size it to my customer's specification, whatever height that he needs. And we're going to size it proportionally, put it near the top of the sign. Arrange it in the middle. And then I just like creating a simple line down at the bottom. Okay, now we're ready to do our text. So we're going to do our text entry. And we click once. And we're going to do RESTROOM. We type in our text. And our customer in this case wants Helvetica bold. That's what the specification is here. So we're going to do Helvetica bold. And typically 66 points is going to give you the correct height and separation. Now let's create our English to grade 2 Braille conversion. So I'm just going to copy that text, and then we're going to go to a website that will convert English to grade 2 Braille. And I have that saved. It's Braille Translator, and you can see the link up there. You can use a ton of them on there. I just paste back my text, and down here it gives me the grade 2 conversion. So I'm going to select Control-C. I'm going to go back to Illustrator, do another text string, click once, and do Control-V. Now you see how we got all those crazy characters? Typically what folks are using for the Braille dots is Swell Braille. I select that, and again, typically for the size, we're going to do 34 point. We'll give you the correct size. And I'm going to move that to the middle of the sign, where it needs to be, just for our specification. All right, so we've determined that all the sizes and the heights have matched our customer's expectation. So now here's the trick. We're going to select everything. We're going to create our build file because we want all this to be built up to the proper depth. And we're going to change that to 100 cyan, 100 magenta, and 100 yellow. And then we're going to select OK. So everything here selected that we're going to build is 400% ink. 100 cyan, 100 magenta, 100 yellow, and 100 black. Now we're going to save that out as our build file. So we go File, Export, Export As, and we're going to save this as BUILD. This is so our production guy, our press guy, knows how to print this file. Now the next thing is we want white. We want to have restroom, our text, and our icons in white, and we're not going to include the Braille dots because we're just going to leave those black because we want that to be invisible through the background. So I deleted the dots, and I'm just going to select File, Export, Export As, and I'm going to say number 2 white. This is so our production guy knows how to print it. Export PDF. It's as simple as that. Let's go ahead for you CorelDRAW guys. Let's jump into CorelDRAW and do the same thing. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to set your page size to your sign size, 8.1 by 7.1, and I'm going to save that. So File, Save As, and it's October 12th, and I'm going to save it as Restroom CDR. That's for CorelDRAW. So I double click on the rectangle tool. I'll make a box the same size as my page frame. And I'm going to set it to a, let's say, 2 millimeter, 1.1 millimeter frame. Now again, your operator, your print operator, is going to print this on the bed of the printer or the vacuum grip paper so he can line up his sign. So in CorelDRAW, we say File, Publish to PDF, and I'm going to save that as frame, just like we did the last one. Restroom CDR frame, right on. Now we need the black back, so I'm just going to change that to black and select File, Publish to PDF, black back. Great. Now we can either add another page so we can have that saved, and let's create our sign. So we have all our icons, so I'm going to drag and drop in my man and woman. P is going to put it in the center of my page. I'm going to size it to my customer's specifications. Let's make that little line underneath. I like that little line separating it. That's what my customer asked for. And then let's jump into our text tool and let's make the text. Restroom. Helvetica bold, that's what they're looking for. 66 points is going to give you about 0.7 inch letter height. P brings me to the center of the page, and I just drag it down to the right specifications. Then we're going to go back to our tool, right? Then we're going to go back to the web, and we're going to do the Braille conversion, English to grade 2. And I'll type in restroom. Spell it right this time. And again, you're going to copy this and you're going to paste it back in your design software. They're all the same. They're all going to function the same. Go to my text tool, paste it back, Control V. And for this one, it came up something else, but I like that. I like using that Swell Braille font. That's pretty much what everybody's using. So if you've done, you know, Braille in the past, and our point size, let's change it to 36, 34. P brings me to the center of the page. I'm going to bring it down in position. Now again, here's the trick. We're going to save this to 100% cyan, 100% yellow, and 100% black. That's to create our build. Change that to the fill. And we're going to select File, Publish to PDF. And we save that as our build file. Then we want this we don't want our Braille, right? We don't want the Braille dots. We want this part to be white. So I'm going to select File, Publish to PDF. And I'm going to save that as 2 white. Now, let's say we have a gold sign, right? We have a gold sign that we want to do. And you want to kind of hide those Braille dots, so you're going to print those Braille dots as gold. So let's just change the color to gold. And we're going to leave the restroom black because we want high contrast between the background, which would be a gold, and your letters and icons. So we select everything, and we're going to select File, Publish to PDF, and we'll save that as 2 color. The second type of Braille dot sign I hear all the time is, hey, I want to do clear dots. Now, some folks are going to do the icon build and the dot build separately. This doesn't make any sense because now you have to do it twice. You have to do your clear build and your color build. So in this case, what I would do, and I know it's going to take a long time. Any UV inkjet printer is going to take a long time to do a clear dot build. But what I would do is build everything in clear, and then I would color the top. So we're going to send this over as just 100% color, and we'll show your production people in Rasterlink how to do that kind of clear build. So I'm going to save that as clear build. Now in this case, I just want to do my text and my icons as a light gray color. So I'm going to select those two and make them gray. And I'll select it and select File, Export. File, Publish PDF. I'll select everything. And I'll select File, Publish to PDF. And I'm going to save that as 2 clear top color, just so I know which file it's going to. Okay. So basically what we're going to do is, for any build file, we're going to change that to 400% ink, and then we're going to save the color file as a separate unit on top of that. This is all pretty easy stuff, right? Remember, we're just teaching you the alphabet. You're going to go ahead and spell words after this, right? These is basic stuff. And everybody's workflow is different. You know, it depends how many people you have in your shop. Do you have production? Do you have design group? Do you have production managers? It all depends on the size of your shop. Now, what I hear often is, Dave, I can't go through, if I have 50 signs to do, 50 ADA signs to do, Braille signs to do, I can't go through and enter the text and then go to the website and get the Braille conversion and come back to my design software and paste it back in. That just takes too much time for 50 signs. Corel has a feature called print merge, and Illustrator has a way that you can do a print merge. I'm not familiar with the Illustrator way. I know the Corel Draw way. And with pretty much every design software, if you create a CSV file and you can put your names in here, there is the ability to run a script in Excel that will convert your English to grade 2 Braille pretty easily. So you would just type in your text and it would give you grade 2 Braille. So now that you have that CSV file in CorelDRAW or Illustrator or your design software, you have something that's a data merge or a print merge. In CorelDRAW, we go to File and Print Merge. We're going to create this real quick. So I'm going to import the file, and I have to change this to a CSV because that's the type of file that I have. And there it is, my Braille test, and I'm going to select Open. So what I've created here is 84 separate signs with the text and the Braille dots. And I'm going to select Finish. Now we have to identify our different fields. So we're going to do Select Insert Field, and I'm just going to do my standard font, Helvetica Bold at 66 points. Put it in the center. Now in CorelDRAW, Illustrator might be the same thing. We just want to make sure that we arrange that to center, so our text is on the center, so it's at center line all the time. Okay, let's do our next field, ID field. Insert selected field. So we're going to put our ID field down here. Remember, we're going to change that font to Swell Braille, and we're going to change it to 34 points. And again, we're going to set our justification to center, and I'm just going to center it on my name up here. You're going to do the spacing the same way you did before. So when this is set up, now we can use our virtual print driver, go into our hot folder. So we're going to select Perform Print Merge. Realize there are some limitations in Rasterlink in doing this, but this is just a quick way to do, 84 signs right off the bat. So I selected my build hot folder, and then you must change the paper size. So I'm going to change the paper size to PostScript custom page size 8.1 to 7.1. Select OK and OK, OK. Apply, print preview. What you see is what you get. And here's all our pages down here. If that's what you want, we're just going to select the print icon to go to print. And what this is doing is it's replacing all that text and Braille dots, and it's going into Rasterlink. So that's it. That job is in Rasterlink right now, and we're going to go to the general print settings. We're going to change our position to 0.1 and 0.1. And we're going to change this to minimize. There we go. There's our 80 signs. All you'd have to do right now is set your printer up, place the acrylics, and hit print. That was pretty quick, huh? That's probably the fastest way you've ever seen, 84 Braille dot signs made. So the next video to check out is production, right? Your press. How to print those files that we've designed through Rasterlink to a Mimaki Flatbed printer. Check out the playlist, Printing Texture to a Mimaki Flatbed Printer. YouTube @PG Sign Video.